I'm not paid to be a role model. I'm paid to wreak havoc on the basketball court.
There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up. Yes! Is it the shoe?
I was going to rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been.
One of the world's most talented athletes is retiring. It is true what somebody said today. There was Babe Ruth and Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky.
Gretzky in front. Saved by Flaherty. The rebound. Score!
Favre just threw it perfectly right over him to Corey Bradford. Only Brett Favre could do that. I don't care what you say.
This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Game on!
Game on!
Four o'clock on a Thursday, right? Thank you. On a Thursday afternoon. I've hosted so many times this week I lose track, Josh. I swear. Oh, 4 o'clock on a Thursday. Confirmed. This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Oh, we got a lot of sports news to get to today, and wow, last night was busy. I'll tell you right now. We'll get to the NBA trade that broke last night, NBA injury news. We'll get a lot of NBA in today, but it's been a good week in sports, and let's go around the room here. I am Matt Leonard. I'm your host for this Thursday. Josh Jumahi, as always. What's up, Josh?
I'm good. I'd be remiss to, something in my spirit just calls me to give congratulations to Nick Cannon.
I've been waiting for you to say it. You didn't tell me what was up.
He's expecting his 10th kid.
He's going for the Phillip Rivers record.
Nah, he passed it. Phillip Rivers got 9. The real record he's going for, which, you talk about unbreakable sports records, right? You got Bill Russell rings.
I know which one you're talking about.
You got
what are you going to say?
Wilt Chamberlain.
Is that what he's going for?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, the 100. I was going to bring up the 100 points, but you got the
Wilt Chamberlain 30,000 other things.
Question, Josh. Was this person a former football player?
Yeah,
What do you got?
My guy Antonio Cromartie. That's an unbreakable record. 14 kids. By 8 women, too.
No. The craziest part about that was he had a vasectomy and still was able to have a kid.
That's
twins.
Listen, you brought up Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers had like 9 kids, but it was by 1 woman, like boring. No. Antonio Cromartie, he's doing work. I'll see if Nick Cannon can break that coming up soon.
All right. Wow.
Congratulations.
You were right when you said you have a hell of a way to open the show. Corey David, what's going on, my friend?
Nothing much. Just enjoying the weather. School's about to start up soon. So we're going to see how that goes.
Mauricio Mendoza back from Atlanta.
Yeah, you know how it be. I had a great time in Atlanta watching the Braves get their butts whooped by the Mets.
I'm so glad you came back and said that as opposed to doing the chop and whatever.
I was this close going to a Braves bar, man. Literally. I was this close.
So
I'll say what's up now, huh, Atlanta?
So no nickname for the fall, right?
No.
Nah.
I won the bet. His nickname is dead.
Yeah, it's dead. Andrew Wiggins,
Andrew Wiggins killed the nickname.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
It's all right, man. It's all good, bro.
Andrew Wiggins, I never knew could be so clutch.
Hey,
He gonna get it next year. He gonna get it next year, bro.
Oh,
just
my
watch.
God. Well, we have 2 new guys in the studio. Braden Daniello, you had your first show earlier this week. How are you doing?
Mix of emotions, to be honest with you, Matt. The Subway Series speaks for itself.
Yeah, I'd say.
It is DeGrom Day. And you can't be mad on Jacob DeGrom Day. Am I right, people? I mean, come on. We get to watch one of the best, the master of his craft, go at it tonight and hopefully absolutely obliterate the Rockies and maybe get a win if the Mets offense can, wake up, to put it lightly.
And
that was perfectly said, by the way.
Score for him for once, too.
That would be nice.
Him and Max, although Max is starting the Subway Series.
Yeah.
We'll get into that at some point.
Yeah.
And we got a new rookie making his WHPC debut today.
Yes, sir.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
by the way, can I just say, before I introduce you have the best radio name here for the record. We've been with this Why I Met You Tuesday. Eric Williams.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Eric? What's up?
That sounds like great.
Right?
How you spell it?
E-R-I-K.
I knew it. I knew that.
He has the best media name of everybody in this room, and he just started today. That's fantastic.
But he did start off at a disadvantage already with that Cowboys hat.
We're gonna hold
We're gonna introduce him the way we introduced everybody new on this show. So Eric, Obviously, we got to who you are a little bit, but tell us your teams. And I know the answer to all your teams, and I cannot wait to everyone else in the room's reaction.
I just want to. Matt said this was going to be groundbreaking. I was going to be shocked, so let's hear it.
So your football team is the hat you're wearing, right?
Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, that's strike one.
Are you from Texas?
No.
You're from New York, right? Born and raised here?
How does that happen?
Tell us your basketball team.
Phoenix Suns.
Strike two.
Wait, what?
What?
Phoenix Suns?
Phoenix Suns.
And you from New York?
Yeah.
Literally from New York.
And I'm sorry to throw you into the fire in your first 5 minutes, but tell us who you root for in baseball.
Y'all gonna hate this.
What?
Los Angeles Dodgers.
Oh my God. There's already enough heat from this.
I ain't never seen somebody click the click like that. Like, you from, like, the craziest part is you from New York, right? Born and bred?
Queens.
You from Queens? From Queens?
Come on. How? The math is not math.
That hurts my soul.
Yo, you repping the West Coast hard, bro.
If you were from Brooklyn, I would excuse it with the Dodgers, but oh my.
What made you become a Dallas Cowboys fan? That's what I really want to know.
So my father been a fan since he was a kid, since about 9 years old.
So you were raised in that system.
Yeah.
So you was brainwashed, man. I don't even blame you. So it must have hurt his soul when he seen the New York Giants win those 2 titles.
Oh,
we got 5. He's seen 4, so.
He's living.
Your whole entire life, he ain't seen that one.
I love how he's here for 5 minutes. He's already talking that smack to you, Corey.
And I'm talking it right back.
That's fine. We're all comfortable. It's all good.
I love it.
Look, hopefully I might call into a couple of shows.
Calling after week 3 when we beat y'all.
Oh, I can feel the tension already. It's building.
Call us when y'all win a playoff game. Again.
Corey, how many playoff games is your team going to play this year?
We ain't got to talk about that.
Why not?
Because that's what my team technically trash. Like, we ain't got nobody.
Yeah, for real.
I don't got a CD. I don't got a CD Lamb.
Right. Listen, we got to get into the news of yesterday, today, everything like that, and we'll get to your Giants later, Corey. I promise. Someone will get to your Giants and your Cowboys as well, Eric. There's some news there, but let's start with baseball. The Mets return home after, quote unquote home, after heading across town to the Bronx, losing 2 games in the Subway Series. Tonight they begin a 4-game series with the Colorado Rockies. Rockies come in struggling, not having the best year. The Braves are playing 3 games against the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals are obviously a first-place team in a much better place than the Rockies, so I think if the Mets, can really get on it this weekend, that can be big. But we got a caller in the show. Let's see if they want to talk Mets or anything they want to talk about. Caller, you're on WHPC Sports Talk. What's up?
Hello?
Hey, what's up? What's the name? Where you calling from?
My name's Ray Charles. I'm from Bronx, New York.
All right. How are you doing, Ray?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What do you want to talk about sports-related?
Well, so I started watching the show a couple of weeks ago.
Thank you. We appreciate the support.
Of course. I realized that Braden's first week was last week, and I really enjoyed his presence on the show.
Yep.
So I have a question for Braden, if that's okay.
Sure.
Talk to me, my man.
I was just wondering, how do you feel about Jeff McNeil's hitting recently?
Wow, I can't say enough nice things right now, Ray, about Jeff McNeil and the way he's been. We saw it in the Subway Series. I felt like a lot of the Mets didn't hit, but when there were Mets that hit, it was Jeff McNeil. And you saw it in the final game also against Philadelphia on Sunday, which I just have to say, did anyone see the game on Sunday in this room right now?
Yeah, the Canna game you're referring to, right?
Yeah. I needed a heart monitor for that 9th inning, okay? But Mark Canna, Jeff McNeil obviously starting that inning with a huge double, and then Mark Canna. So to sum it up, Ray, because we got to keep moving here, I can't say enough nice things about Jeff McNeil. The guy has been slowly developing to one of the most underrated second basemen in baseball.
We're playing you out with yourself, Ray. Thank you for the call.
Of course. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the call. If you want to call in like Ray Charles just did from the grave, 516-572-7440 is the number to join the show.
Even Ray Charles can see what the Mets are doing this year. Come on, man. Stevie Wonder, too. Stevie Wonder.
He can see it to the big friend of the day.
Had to. It was on a tee. I had to hit it.
Oh, my God. Like Jeff McNeil's been on a tear, as our caller mentioned. So there we go. The Mets lineup, I don't think it's out yet. I'm pretty sure it's not out yet.
I'll take a look now. It usually comes out around this time.
See, you look for that. I'll get into more of this series. Like I said,
I got it.
You got it. What's the Mets lineup tonight against the Rockies?
All right, so here we go. DeGrom Day tonight, 7:10 at Citi Field. We got Brandon Nimmo, Marte, Lindor, same starting three.
Alonso, 4, same first 4 as every night.
Same first 5, really. Vogelback, Big Vogel, my guy. DH. Jeff McNeil, second base.
Okay.
Tyler Naquin at left field. Batting.
He heard me call him out yesterday and decided to play.
There you go. My guy, Brett Beatty, third base.
Batting what, 8th?
Batting 7th.
Oh, he's moving up in the world.
Batting 8th.
Okay, never mind.
Excuse me. Batting 8th.
I was going to say, I don't agree with that if he's batting 7th.
Yeah. And then Thomas Nido, who was like the only like semi-useful catcher we have.
I think he's semi-useful because the pitchers are comfortable with him. That's the only thing useful about Tomas Nido.
He can actually, he can't hit. Like, McCann can't hit. And
he
Perez
can't field either.
But he can bunt.
That's a good point. That's a great point. He knows how to bunt.
I saw there was a post the other day that Tomas Nido has the most sacrificed bunts.
I was about to say he leads the league in sack bunt. That's correct.
I was like,
that's 100% right. By like a lot too, by the way. It's by like 3 or 4.
So whatever helps the team win.
That's equally like impressive.
That's buck ball. They call it buck ball.
Buck ball.
Yeah, they call it that.
Oh, buck ball.
Buck ball.
Okay.
I don't got to press the button. I said buck ball.
Got it. Just checking.
All right, but. I said the Mets are starting a series against the Rockies. The 4 games set. I personally, as a Mets fan, am looking for you got to win 3 out of 4 because the Braves are playing the first place Cardinals. Cardinals are no slouch as far as their team goes. Their pitching's been on fire. More importantly, 42-year-old Albert Pujols is the best hitter in baseball the last 2 weeks
and closing in on 700. Keep that in mind.
Who would have seen that? By the way, Pujols has like a 1,500 OPS for the last 2 weeks.
That's unreal.
That's the craziest thing that's happened this year.
That's vintage Pujols.
Literally.
That's better than this is the best 2-week stretch of his whole career. Stats-wise, this is the best 2-week stretch of Pujols' career.
Remember, like a few weeks ago, we were clowning like his farewell tour.
I do remember. I brought it up.
It was like how like lame it was compared to like other stars that got better ones, like Derek Jeter, for example.
You can say Derek Jeter. You can call him out.
Derek Jeter, yeah. But Pujols, since that moment, like literally since that show, my guy must have been listening because he's turned it on ever since then. He's been unreal.
I think it's just the home run derby because people were like, "Why was he in the home run derby?" And then he beat Schwarber, whether you say it's staged or not. People were debating that, and I was like, "Let Pujols have his moment."
He said, "My last stand starts now" at the home run derby.
Yeah, really. I mean,
great ever since.
They always say it ruins your swing. Don't do it. And Pujols is on a tear.
First of all, how are you going to tell a guy that's played 20 years or more? I don't know the exact number.
21 or 22 this year.
How you going to tell a guy that's played 21 plus years the home run derby is going to mess up his swing? Like, people try
It's one thing if it's like Judge or Alonso and they were rookies and then I don't know.
I think Pujols I think he's fine.
I think he knows how to swing a bat at this point. You know, one of the greatest, if not the best right-handed hitter we've seen in our lifetime.
Clean,
clean, fair.
Yeah.
Fair. In our lifetime, I'd say, because obviously there are guys better than him, like Hank Aaron, whatever, but...
Got to say that, but back to your Rockies point. This series, they're playing them for 4 games.
The Mets finally caught a break, though, because the Braves always... Like, listen, the Mets played the Yankees the last 2 days, and the Braves swept the Pirates. Like, the Mets can't catch a schedule break, it seems, and it's finally turning around.
It's finally turning around, and we've talked about it all August. We knew August was going to be tough.
Yeah.
2 series against the Braves, the Phillies in there.
The Yankees.
Dodgers coming up.
Dodgers coming up.
That's true. That the month isn't over.
2 best teams in the league or just the NL? Just so I'm making sure.
What, the Mets and the Dodgers?
Mets and Dodgers.
Whole league.
The whole league? Yeah.
Wow.
There you go. We knew the August stretch was going to be tough. But once you get past this stretch, the Rockies, hopefully you win 3 out of 4 at least.
You hope.
I'm not even expecting accepting.
You can't.
I'm not accepting a split.
Okay.
You can't. I mean, you can't because you have to keep in mind you got these are the starting pitchers for the Mets this series. You got DeGrom tonight, Bassett tomorrow.
Yep.
Peterson, who's, like I said, I can't say enough bad about the guy as a starter. And you got Max going on game 4. So, I mean, ideal 3 of 4. But if you could take a sweep, I mean, obviously it's going to help, as Matt was bringing up. I mean, finally Atlanta's playing a tough opponent. Although
the big difference is they got 3 games at Atlanta. They're off in St. Louis. I'm sorry, they're off today.
Yeah,
the Mets that's actually better for the Mets if they can win the game on the Braves off day. The lead's 1.5 right now in the division. The Mets win tonight. The lead goes to 2. And if they continue to win against the Rockies and the Braves even struggle a little bit, this league can grow without even playing them head-to-head. That's huge. I mean, the Braves don't seem to lose when they're not playing the Mets.
And even last series, the Braves beat the Mets, so you got
that's true. They're not losing right now.
Lost ground. So,
you guys mentioned that the Mets and Dodgers are the best team in the right now in the MLB.
Mm-hmm.
But where do you see as the Yankees and the Astros, because they're basically both of them have near like 76 wins, while the Astros have 80 wins. Do you consider them as also one of the best teams right now in the MLB?
Oh, absolutely. The Astros, as far as the American League goes, those are the top two teams, whether you want to say the Yankees have been struggling or they're getting back on it or whatever. Record-wise, those are the two best teams in the American League. And
I think talent-wise, you got Houston there also. I mean, Houston's been terrorizing the AL for the last half decade.
Can I say on record right now, by the way, Houston scared me a lot early in the year. As how the Mets have been playing of late and how Houston's been playing, they don't scare me right now.
Yeah. Well, if you don't look
When October comes around, it could change.
Everything changes in October, though.
They have way more October experience than any player on the Mets roster.
That's true. And also the schedule, keep that in mind. Rob Manfred's quest for a utopia, or whatever you want to call it. It's so stupid.
Yeah, because
schedule, you have to go across the coast with no break. Come on.
Like for me, when I see like the playoffs coming in for the MLB, I see mostly like in the NL of it, it's the Braves, Cardinals, Mets, and Dodgers. Those are like the four main teams that are like I feel more undecided on who can take it and who can arrive to the World Series. But when it comes to the AL, it's just mostly the Yankees and the Astros.
I would agree with you. I think whatever AL Central team wins the division, they're at this point, mathematically, it's going to be very hard for them to get a 1 or 2 seed and get that bye. So I think, whatever team wins the AL Central is likely getting either bounced in the wild card round or the next round. They're not going to survive against the Yankees or the Astros.
Definitely not.
No way.
That's been the AL Central for years now also. You see these teams, aside from Cleveland in 2017, we know that story.
16, that was at the Cubs.
2016, but 2017 also, to be fair,
true,
20-game win streak.
They had a good year.
Yeah.
But ever since
is that when we traded them, Jay Bruce? Was that like
and then he went off, and then he almost killed the Yankees, but then he didn't because
I do
Cleveland
remember that.
choked.
Oh God!
But now, ever since that year, just any team that comes out of that AL Central is just kind of it's almost like I don't want to say a free buy. I don't want to disrespect the team, but they haven't gone anywhere, to put it lightly.
Those are like
that's what you see. I wish the Mets were in either the AL Central or the NL Central, but they're not. I mean, you look at those divisions, I'm like...
Even the AL West, arguably, who's... I know the Astros are great. Undoubtedly, their talent is incredible. Verlander's having an amazing resurgent season. As far as the AL West goes, though, who's competing with them there?
Seattle, maybe?
Maybe, and they own Seattle, so it's not really that big.
You see the same thing in the NL West also, because you got the Dodgers and then the Padres. The Padres have talent, but it never just dates. It sits there.
The difference between the Dodgers and the Astros. I think you're right. The Padres have talent, but reason
that could be a potential World Series.
And Eric, I'm sure you love this. Whenever the Padres seem to come to town in LA, they just roll over and die.
Yeah, they haven't really beaten us in the past year.
Padres, yeah.
So the thing is, our pitchers, we obviously lost Dustin May last season in the middle of the year, but he's coming back.
Yep.
And then we just lost Walker Buehler, but he wasn't playing as good this season.
Right.
He was like the third or fourth starter on the Dodgers this year, which is crazy to say if you predicted things preseason. And you're never okay with a guy of his skill level going down, but you're almost thinking, okay, we can survive this.
Yeah. Because we have other pitchers. We still have Anderson, and we have Kershaw.
Gonsolin's having an amazing
year. Dude, Gonsolin and Anderson, they came out of nowhere. Just absolutely out of nowhere. Especially Tyler Anderson. What was he in? I think he was in Colorado, right?
Yep.
Like a season or two ago?
Yep.
And he came to the Dodgers like, oh, great. Like, nothing's going to... All of a sudden, I look, the guy's got 12 wins. He's like 12-0. Gonsolin's in the Cy Young.
2.5 ERA.
Gonsolin might win the Cy Young because Alcantara hasn't been good yet lately.
That's very true.
So, I mean, anything's possible. But the Dodgers... You see how deep their organization is, and obviously, I mean, we have a Dodger fan in the studio, obviously. So it's, but you're not surprised the Dodgers just pluck guys out of nowhere, and they got plenty of replacements. The Dodgers are always going to be there.
The Dodgers, like we're talking about, they're 49 games over 500.
Are you serious? That's the number?
They're 86-37.
Steve Cohen always talks about, let's pick the Mets, the East Coast Dodgers. I think he's done a decent job, but hearing that number, I'm thinking, I wish I had that.
That's unreal.
That's like every year for them, by the way.
Yeah,
you know how nice that must be? Like, Eric, please explain to us, what is it like to have your team be 50 games over 500 before September hits?
More importantly, what is it like to get every top free agent every offseason?
I have the best farm in baseball with all that love.
Somehow right at the same time.
Listen, after getting Freddie Freeman in free agency last season, that was amazing. I took it because I feel like we did need him because we lost Corey Seager. And to add that with Trey Turner, Mookie Betts, Max Muncy, I feel like that's a great lineup we have right there.
Funny thing is, Muncy's been having a down year, and lately he's picked it up. But you name all these guys, the craziest part is, half of them could have like a terrible year. Like Muncy's not really. Before he started picking it up, he was putrid.
Well, they also extended him, I think, for a year also.
They did, but
13.5, I think it was.
I don't know why he earned that or why they thought he earned that.
Because
based
it's the
on
Dodgers.
this
They don't
year.
care. The Dodgers just throw money at everything, and sometimes it works.
It works, though.
Sometimes it doesn't.
It doesn't have to work with how deep their team is.
It does. Like Trevor Bauer goes down because the scandal is he's suspended for what, 2 seasons?
Yeah.
And they don't even need him.
Yeah, no.
It's like you throw money and you're like, okay, if it works, great. If it doesn't, we have other people.
He'd be nice to have this year, of course, with his talent on the field and everything. But we said it before: Gonsolin, Anderson, Kershaw. Hopefully, will be back for the postseason. He's having a decent season. Like, you lose a guy like Walker Buehler, and you just have Dustin May come back at the perfect time. It seems everything works out for LA.
Let's not hope for anyone to come back, because God forbid the Mets run into the Dodgers.
I want to play Kershaw in the postseason. That's batting practice.
No, come on. Come on.
Oh, you cannot deny that.
I was like, Kershaw is one of the best in baseball, but
one
when
of the
it
best
comes
of all
to
time.
October,
When October hits the calendar,
It's shaky. But he is one of the best starters in baseball. He was.
Oh, absolutely.
And probably will go down as one of them.
He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. When that calendar goes to October, he becomes like, oh.
We talked about, if you remember, Matt, a few shows ago, we talked about, are the Mets and Dodgers in the same tier?
Yep.
But like I said, they're about to be the Dodgers 50 games over 500.
And none of you believe me when I said no, by the way.
I still think the Mets are in that tier. But
No.
my question would be to everyone, like, how big an upset, if it's considered an upset, say the Mets beat the Dodgers in the National League
Championship
I would love that.
Series. I would love that too.
And that means they advanced to the World Series, so I would love that too.
Do we consider that an upset, considering how dominant the Dodgers have been?
So the Mets are saying they beat the Dodgers in the NLCS.
Yeah.
My big question is, how many games?
Say 6 games.
No, that's not an upset. An upset would be if they go sweep the Dodgers. Then it'd be like, who knew the Mets had this in them?
I can go with that.
The Dodgers pitching and everything about them is so great. If any team sweeps the Dodgers, I don't care who you are, that is an incredible feat. This year, oh my God!
Here's my thing: the Dodgers have been great, yes, but we talked about the American League. It's only really the Yankees and the Astros.
Of course,
the Cardinals are red hot, and
they are.
We know they're dangerous in October.
Absolutely,
the Padres,
they have so much experience there.
Yeah, the Padres are like, I don't really believe in them.
They'll make it in just because they have the talent. They can win enough games to make it. And they were in a good position before they got Soto.
If the Padres missed the playoffs, like.
Could you imagine that?
I can imagine, dude. They're not playing good. They are not playing like a postseason built team, and I know there's not a lot.
I have to get the exact numbers in the standings.
You got Juan Soto, obviously, who just won a World Series 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Other than that, it doesn't. They made the Padres made moves to better the roster, and they somehow got worse. It's mind-boggling to me. Like I'm sitting there thinking. This team picked up Josh Hader, Brandon Drury, Juan Soto.
Hader's been awful, by the way.
That's true.
So bad.
And that was a questionable trade also because he gave away Rogers, who's been okay. He was second.
He's not even their closer, by the way, in Milwaukee. Because Williams is. He's not pitching well either.
I mean, you see how much talent the Padres added, and you have to process how is this team losing?
Even with not getting Tatis back till next May or June, I don't get how they're losing at the rate they are.
But it's not even that. They were winning before without Tatis, and then they made all those moves.
Exactly.
And then they somehow got worse.
I don't think it's like a chemistry thing, because I think Juan Soto is that good of a player. It doesn't matter. Everyone could hate him. He can go out there and hit homers, and it's fine.
Well, he's not going to be the most hated person in that city. Not with what Tatis did.
I mean, I feel like nobody likes Machado in the league unless you're a Padre. I really feel that way.
To be fair. I mean, you even saw the reaction he got in LA a couple weeks ago. I mean,
and then,
you're not going to like Machado unless he's playing for you.
And then they suddenly go, Manny, what are your thoughts on the boos you got in Dodger Stadium? And his response, I'm Manny effing Machado.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, we know. They were yelling your name at you. We know who you are.
That's a humble individual.
Manny Machado's got to be a humble guy.
Yeah, very humble.
But let's see. We got another caller on WHPC Sports Talk. Let's get them involved here. Caller, you're on the air. What's up?
This is John from Freeport. Great show. How you guys doing?
Hey, John. Thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing well, but you said there was a trade, and you haven't filled me in on it yet. And also, is Kevin Durant really going to be staying with the Nets, and what's that going to look like?
It appears Kevin Durant, yes. He met with Joe Tsai, the owner, and Sean Marks, the GM, and obviously Steve Nash, their head coach. Steve, as of now, Kevin Durant, and as of now, I say that very carefully, will be playing out his contract in Brooklyn, but we know how he's very temperamental, and by next year he could be frustrated again and demand another trade. We never know with him, but this year he's a Brooklyn Net.
Was that with Joe Tsai
And as far as the trade goes, we will get to that later in the show, of course. But that was a big trade last night. But I promise you, John, that'll come up in about maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and just keep listening. We appreciate the support.
I can't get over the Brooklyn Nets real quick. The cute little kumbaya moment. Steve Nash, Sean Marks, in the room with the same guy that said, them or me, choose. And all of a sudden, you come together around the bonfire, and it's all right. We're energized and ready to go.
Best example.
What a joke, yo.
Best example is I seen a newspaper where, like, you know how usually in the back of newspapers they go crazy. Right?
Yeah, the headline.
So there's like this. So the headline was like, "Fire Steve Nash, no. Trade me, no." And then it was like a whole bunch of no's, and it was like, "Okay, this is my team. Let's ride." I was like,
Nets country.
But then you had to bring up the fact that, in a sense, that Patrick Beverley was right in the sense that this trade did hold up a lot of things as in terms of people who were waiting to get signed. They were all waiting for what's going to happen with the KD, Donovan Mitchell trade.
Oh, yeah. I want to get into basketball in just a moment, but first let's go around the room on baseball, and let's talk about the Mets a little bit. I want to get to the Yankees for like 5 minutes, but real quick on the Mets. DeGrom pitches tonight, as we mentioned. 4-game set against the Rockies. The question I'm going to ask all the Mets fans and everyone else in the room, what do we see the division lead being by Monday?
By Monday.
It is 1.5 right now. The Mets win tonight, it becomes 2. And then you got 3 against the Rockies left, and then the Braves got 3 in St. Louis. Where do we think the division lead is going to be on Monday?
Now, Braves play 3 in St. Louis, right?
The Braves play 3 in St. Louis, that's right.
The Mets play the Rockies for 4?
Yep.
I'll say it goes to 3 by Monday.
3
games. They double their lead.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Braden, what do you think?
Could see about 3 also. Like I said, you got to take 3 or 4. You got to sweep. You can't settle for a split against an opponent like the Rockies this season. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I just jinxed it because now that I said the Rockies aren't a good opponent, they're probably going to take out and sweep or double or split with the Mets.
I hate that I agree with you, but I
don't want to.
That's how this goes.
I say something and it becomes like the exact opposite.
That happened to me one time when I became.
I jinx. I'm the jinx. I jinxed the Mets. I jinxed the Rangers. If God forbid I talk about the Jets, I jinxed them too.
You're not alone. I kind of jinxed it on Barcelona a lot for the Champions League, and it was not fun.
I've just learned to keep my mouth shut.
Jinxes are very real in the sports world, but so we're saying around 3, right? Yeah. I'm gonna go 4 because I'm being optimistic.
Okay.
I think 4 is reasonable, but
I hope so.
I want to quickly get to the Yankees. The Yankees are on a West Coast road trip this weekend. They're in Oakland tonight, and they are playing against the putrid Oakland Athletics in front of probably 5,000 people.
Yeah.
Majority of which might be Yankees fans.
That is probably true. Yeah. They've been traveling. I give them credit.
Dude, the 7 line is going to... I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
The 7 line is going to Oakland, I think, next month. I would not be surprised if there's more Mets fans in the building. I really
that's
would.
Interesting.
There's no one in that ballpark at any... And they don't have a reason to.
No. The owner hates the fans, hates the team, everything. I saw something saying...
a new arena, like a new stadium
Chad
would be
Pinder
maybe.
is their currently highest paid player, and he makes like $2.5 million.
Yikes.
That's low.
Wow.
Dang.
Their payroll is... This is the craziest stat in all the sports right now. Kyler Murray was drafted by the Oakland A's in the first round of the MLB draft. Kyler Murray currently makes double the Oakland A's payroll this year.
Oh, my God.
How crazy is that?
That's a... we talk about Kyler Murray a lot, but that's a good decision maker right there.
Oh, absolutely.
He chose right. We can definitely say that.
Who knows? Maybe he would have been traded out of Oakland by now.
Absolutely.
Or he would have left the second he got the chance.
He would have gotten called up, asked for $3 million. The owner would have said, "You're crazy, leave." And that's it.
Probably. That sounds about right, honestly.
Well, the Yankees, real quick, they have not, according to MLB at bat, this could have been announced on Twitter, I haven't checked, but the Yankees don't have a starter for announced for any of the games in this series. And I don't know what to make of that.
None of the games in the series?
As according to MLB at bat, I don't know if I'm late on the news, but the Yankees, have not announced a starter so far, which is, I don't say concerning, because they're playing Oakland. They in theory should be a pushover, and this should be a good series for the Yankees.
Just thinking, just call up our AAA guys.
And I will say this: the A's have announced their pitching rotation. Most of them are probably not going to care, but Friday, former Yankee J.P. Sears will take the mound against New York for the Oakland A's. He's pitching extremely well in Oakland. He pitched great for the Yankees in New York this year. I'm calling it. The Yankees are losing Friday night. That's not Yankee hate. That's none of that. I think the fact that it's JP scares me. We saw what Montgomery did.
Yeah, exactly. We saw what Jordan Montgomery did, and
what he still continues to do. By the way,
I'm curious. What's Montgomery's record with St. Louis?
Like what? 4-5-0.
4-5-0.
0.35
and the
ERA.
complete game shut.
Wow,
what?
Insane. The Maddox against the Cubs at Wrigley.
0.35.
Oh my God!
And the Yankees gave him up for injured Harrison Bader. I think Bader will be a big player in the postseason.
Well,
I've said that all along.
His defense is unlike anything I've ever.
And his speed is what really needed in this lineup. But it was. I don't want to spend too much time harping on the Montgomery trade. We've done that every day since it happened.
Here's one thing about the Yankees, and obviously Nestor Cortez lands on the IL today too, which is big. But you know why it's not going to really faze them that much? We've talked about the Mets' soft schedule in September.
Yep.
Let me read you who the Yankees are playing from this day forward.
Please do. Their division is not great.
I'm intrigued.
Athletics for 4.
Okay.
The Angels for 3. Rays is tough. They play.
Rays is always tough. The Rays could be losing 100 games in a bad year, and they'll still play the Yankees really hard.
But other than that, Twins, Brewers, kind of tough.
The Twins are their minor league team, so that's fine.
Yes, obviously. And the Pirates, the Red Sox again, the Blue Jays again, tough.
Okay.
Then they close with the Orioles and the Rangers.
Orioles are no pushover.
That's
right
true.
now. Orioles are
the Orioles
no
are the only
pushover.
team. I love how people talk about how the AL, and I'm not dissing the AL East. I love how, and I don't mean to take a shot at Yankees fans, but I love how Yankees fans always say, "Oh, our division's so tough." I'm like, listen, you guys, granted the series sweep to the Mets, have been absolutely horrendous since the All-Star break. And the one team that has taken advantage the most in that division is not the team that everyone was projecting to win the division in Toronto. Not the granted, Tampa's payroll isn't that great, but they always find a way to win.
Right.
The analytics somehow come out. And
the Red Sox fall off the face of the map, and the Baltimore Orioles, the only team to even maybe gain a little bit of ground. Aside, well, obviously the Yankees slide. It was 15-game lead in the division, and
now it's 8 or 9.
Yeah, 8 or 9. But no one in that division is taking advantage. It's really the division is underachieving. It's not that. You could see that just by looking at it.
Absolutely. The last thing I'll say on the AL East today is this. The Orioles traded 2 All-Stars from this season away at the trade deadline, and they're playing better.
How about that? And they were getting ripped by all the big-time media members for it, too.
Yeah, like Mancini, I get why I had to trade. He's probably going to come back in the offseason. I get that one. But when you trade this guy Lopez away, why would you do that? But then the bullpen steps up for them, and how crazy is that?
Every team, there's like a little engine that could, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the Orioles are definitely it this year.
Orioles give me like Seattle Mariner vibes.
Yes.
Mariners
absolutely.
are one of those teams that always picks it up. I hope Seattle makes a postseason. I'd love to see them there.
I want to see them break the drought too, but that'll do it for baseball for us today. Let's hope all the Mets fans in the room, all the Mets fans listening out there, hope the Mets can. I want a sweep. I'm not expecting a sweep. 3 out of 4, as you said, Josh, is pretty much necessary against a team like the Colorado Rockies, who are close to last place in a bad division, by the way. But you are listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Matt Leonard, Josh Umahi, Corey David, Mauricio Mendoza, Eric Williams, and Braden Daniello here with you this Thursday afternoon. Let's get to the NBA, and we'll discuss the trade that John from Freeport brought up, because this was puzzling to me last night. Eric, you're close to home to you in the Western Conference. It doesn't really affect us too much, but Patrick Beverley was traded from the Utah Jazz to the Los Angeles Lakers. That in itself is enough to make me go, what is going on? He was traded for Talen Horton-Tucker. This is the most confusing NBA trade of the offseason.
No. Well, okay. Talen Horton-Tucker, the Lakers were keeping him off the trade block for what? For so many months, and you traded him for Patrick Beverley?
Yep. Remember they wouldn't include him in the deal for Kyle Lowry 2 years ago?
They wouldn't trade him for AD either.
Oh my God!
We're keeping THT. He's going to be a future star for the Lakers. And now he's gone for Pat Bev.
It's almost like Kyle Kuzma Part 2. It's like they thought Kyle Kuzma was the guy, and it's like, no, we can really just trade him for anything.
And by the way, the Lakers had a choice last offseason.
Okay,
we talked about the Westbrook deal. That's obvious.
Yes, of course.
But they could either have paid Alex Caruso or Talen Horton-Tucker. Alex Caruso is pretty much a better version of Patrick Beverley right now.
Absolutely.
They could have just gave him his bread.
With way less attitude and media antics, by the way.
And has experience with them and winning the championship.
Correct.
It was very vital for it back in 2020.
Yes.
My first reaction when I seen the trade was the song, Why Can't We Be Friends?
Speaking on that point, let me just say, Patrick Beverley, and I wrote on the sheet here, Patrick Beverley and Westbrook will be sharing a backcourt for now. Do you think this has anything to do with Westbrook is gone?
This is so yesterday when this trade happened, and we all know the history.
2 a.m. or something, by the way.
Yeah.
I got the alert and I was like, I want to go to bed, but now I can't.
We all know the history between Pat Bev and Westbrook, right?
Of course. I mean, the interviews everywhere today, it's Pat Bev. I mean, Westbrook saying about Pat Bev. What was the quote? Something
running
like,
around doing nothing.
Yeah, he's running around doing a whole lot of nothing. And
listen,
now I'll be running around next to you, catching passes from you, hopefully.
When this trade happened, you remember I said in the chat, this is the beginning of the end for Westbrook as a Laker, right?
Yeah.
But then you have LeBron James tweeting, "Oh yeah, Westbrook's gonna go hard this year," and Pat Beverley quote tweets it like, "Yeah, I agree, he's gonna go hard." I'm like, what the hell's going on?
The only thing Pat Bev was missing is probably because the Lakers told him to take it out was somewhere else. Why is that happening?
I'm like, oh yeah, you handle that over there. But
every show, you know what I'm talking about. Every show, my cereal go off.
It's either that or my iPad accidentally play something.
We're professionals, folks. We swear.
Yes. We swear.
Go on. Believe us.
But what are we expecting Westbrook to stay in LA? Like, is it actually going to be the Pat Bev Westbrook tandem? There's no way, right? There's no way. Or is there?
We've talked about for about a year and a half now since the Lakers have gotten Westbrook, right? Yeah. We've talked about we wanted Doc Rivers to be their coach. We just want the circus to grow and get bigger.
Yeah,
this is up there.
This is more than anything I could have imagined. If Westbrook stays, the whole thing about the Lakers, they brought in this new coach. Yep. They're looking to improve team morale, get it back to where they were in the bubble.
Yep.
This is where you start? Really?
You start with bringing in one of the most toxic players in the league to boost morale, right?
2 players that just hate each other. If Westbrook is really staying,
they're just putting gas in the fire.
Yeah.
How many? Can we look up how many nationally televised games they have this year? Do you know the number? You're close to it. Look that up. I'll be tuning into every one of those. If Westbrook is in a Laker uniform, come tip off.
Lakers national team.
Oh my God.
They have 39. 39 national
basically
TV
half
games.
their schedules on. Oh God.
Oh boy.
This is LA. This is the Lakers. This is LeBron James.
How many do the Clippers have?
Yeah.
Clippers have.
They're gonna be better. How
Clippers
many
have 32. The Lakers have 39.
I love Adam Silver, the commissioner, about 90% of the time. This is stupid. Stupid.
You know why that is, right? You said it. The circus.
It's the Lakers.
It don't matter how bad you are on the floor. If you're a circus and you generate ratings because people want to see you fail and laugh at you,
that's LeBron.
Then I think it's LeBron more than the circus thing. Is when
it's both. It's both.
Then how come the Knicks with Alonzo Trier and Iman Shumpert weren't having 40 primetime games?
Well,
I'll give you an example. Zion Williams got 14 or 15 or 17 right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's about star quality.
I agree. I spoke about that in the circus.
The Knicks can get you a couple of national televised games. They're not going to get you too many.
They're not going to get you 40.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Because they don't have nobody.
I agree.
They got Donovan Mitchell. I bet you that goes up next year.
They flex some games around. Yeah.
Because the value in the on how marketable he really is to televised games. Yeah.
Most people watching the NBA, the casual fan, watches the primetime games for the stars in it.
Yeah.
Unless you're a fan of the team playing, even diehard fans. Let's say the Lakers and the Celtics are playing. First of all, big rivalry there, but you're watching it to see what's Tatum going to do. How's LeBron going to handle Tatum? Yeah. Stuff like that. You're not watching that because, man, I hope the Lakers win tonight. Or if you're not a Lakers fan.
Unless you have a FanDuel parlay or something.
Yeah. That's another one. But yeah. Eric, though, I want to ask you, though. You said you're a Phoenix Suns fan.
Right.
What are your thoughts of the Lakers in general? Because, the Suns, I mean, you obviously went through all the KD drama like we did, but on the other side, you probably thought you were getting Kevin Durant at some point in time.
Of course I did.
Yeah, he was linked there for a while.
As soon as the rumor went out that he wanted to be traded, I obviously thought we were going to trade DeAndre Ayton as a sign-in trade.
Of course, everyone thought the same.
Yeah.
But the Pacers want to come in and they want to offer him. Now we have to match him.
Yep.
I think Ayton is going to stay for the 4 years that he's going to be here.
I hope so. He's developing and such a nice player for them.
I hope he does develop. He needs to be stronger down low in the paint.
For sure.
You know what, Eric? I'll say this. Because obviously the Suns went out sad in the playoffs. But
that was injuries involved.
That's we laughed at them all summer, yeah, but they're still I consider them underrated now because you still have Chris Paul. Yeah. Devin Booker's a stud.
He's criminally underrated in terms of the league and stars in the league.
Devin Booker is
People don't realize how good Devin Booker is.
Yeah, and then DeAndre Ayton. And you still have Cameron Johnson, Mikal Bridges. People sleep on the Suns because of how they went out.
Jay Crowder's still there, right?
Yeah, Jay Crowder.
He's such a good role player for them. He fits so well in that system.
That's what I'm saying.
Monty Williams, by the way, is like a top 5 coach in the league right now.
Easily, I'd say.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, they went out. They're the laughingstock of the summer, but let's take it easy on the Phoenix Suns. They're still going to contend.
Chris Paul is still the point guard, as people call him.
Yeah.
He makes everybody around him better. I don't care how old or young he is.
And this is why I think the Lakers and Suns matchup is going to be very entertaining because Pat Bev went on ESPN and went out of his way and started talking smack about Chris Paul.
Can I say right now, the ultimate petty move to take a shot at Pat Bev would be the Suns should come out wearing those all-orange uniforms when they play the Lakers. So Chris Paul can look like a traffic cone and then beat Pat Bev at his own game. That'd be fun.
The Cone P3 slander was fun.
Could you imagine if he come out in the all-orange and he's like, oh, he dressed like a traffic cone and he drops 30 and 10? Could you imagine?
Pat Beverly. We don't need Pat Beverly any more powerful than he already is.
No, I'm talking about Chris Paul drop 30 and 10.
Oh.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
The redemption. I mean, God, Chris Paul needs redemption.
Chris Paul did it before on him.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Chris Paul needs redemption. He's the first Hall of Famer, but I want to see him get back at Pat Bev for saying that.
That's actually true because we talk about often Pat Bev hates Chris Paul. But there's a reason for that. Chris Paul kind of has his way with him when they're on the court across from each other.
It's not a good reason, but there's a reason.
Paul, he's very sneaky. So
that's
I feel
true.
Like when Pat Bev pushed him in the Western Conference Finals, I feel like he said something to Pat Bev.
Definitely said something.
Pat Bev just lost it.
He walked by, whispered something. Pat Bev turned around in a way it was you're not going to disrespect him.
I'm picturing maybe it was like the Westbrook quote he brought up or something. It's like he pushes Chris Paul, he gets up and just goes, whole lot of nothing. Just keeps walking.
That was
under his breath, whole lot of nothing. Just keeps on walking.
There are a lot of, hopefully this trade kind of kickstarts or re-kickstarts, I'll say, the NBA offseason. Because we've been waited on KD and Kyrie.
I thought the KD news would do that, but then people were just like, okay, good, you did what you're supposed to do.
Listen, and the Jazz making this deal, maybe they're ready to say, let's get on for summer. Let's get the tank get it started. You have the best tank operator in the league and Taylor Horton-Tucker now. He's going to score a light 19 points per game on 35% shooting. And drive the Jazz to a top 2 pick.
That sounds right.
There you go. Just get rid of Donovan Mitchell, give him to my Knicks, and we can get the show on the road.
Yeah, I want Donovan Mitchell.
It's good for business, and besides,
we will get to the Knicks and Donovan Mitchell in a second, but let's get to the caller here first. Caller, you're on WHPC Sports Talk. What's up?
Yo, what's up? I just wanted to say, I love Greg Jennings.
Someone's watching Facebook Live and saw my jersey. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. For those that are not watching, you should be. And also, I'm wearing the Greg Jennings Packers jersey today.
You're bringing the people.
I put the team on my back, though.
Put the team on
I just seen that on Twitter last night. Just seen it.
I put the team on my back. I do this for WHPC. Let's get inside my mind here. Okay, go on.
I was just thinking about with the Patrick Beverly being on ESPN talking about how if he was the leader, if he can be the leader that the Lakers need.
Yep.
And I'm just I don't think that's necessarily what they need from you. They just need probably a lockdown defender, but you're not the greatest shooter, so what's the point of having 2 point guards who can't shoot?
That's an excellent point.
Well, he's a better shooter than Westbrook.
Not
by much.
No,
not by much.
Not really.
You know how bad Westbrook is as a shooter?
I'm aware.
That's saying Patrick Beverly's not as good.
The difference is, at certain points in his career, Westbrook had the level of shooting where you could excuse it. He was never Steph Curry, of course, but he had the level of shooting where you're like, okay. And he can still score, by the way. He's still a scorer whether he shoots or not.
I get it.
Pat Bev's not a scorer whatsoever.
I get that, but regardless, I just made fun of the deal and them giving... they basically traded THT for a weaker Caruso when they could have just paid Caruso, right? So, but I think this is a good move for the Lakers, regardless.
You think it's good for the Lakers?
Yes, because Pat Beverly, no matter what you want to say about him, he's a culture setter. No matter what he's going to do, he did it in Minnesota. He did it with the Clippers.
He's a culture setter, and we use that term a lot for two guys, right? For different reasons.
Yeah.
We say Chris Paul's a culture setter, and we say Kyrie Irving's a culture setter. I think he leans more towards the Kyrie side of things.
There are a lot of Timberwolves fans that say they don't make the playoffs last year without Patrick Beverly.
There's only one reason.
They actually say that because he set the culture. That was a losing culture for years.
That is true. I mean, what was the last time you actually saw the Timberwolves make it to the playoffs?
And that is true.
So think about it.
Listen to me. It wasn't Patrick Beverly that was.
It was so not.
No.
Yeah.
But you still have Anthony Edwards.
It was Anthony Edwards.
So you
I think it was currently Towns getting hot too.
So y'all think there's nothing to be said for
Not-
Patrick Beverly making
I'm not-
5-6 straight playoff appearances?
I'm not saying nothing. What I'm saying is, I don't think it's as big as people think.
No, look,
He's been on great teams. Look at the teams he's been on.
My thing with Patrick Beverly,
Not really.
My thing with Patrick Beverly is he falls into that Dellavedova type role where it's like he's that pest for you. If you just need a guy taken out a little bit, he might be that.
He's Draymond Green with less rings and less of a pedigree.
No. Draymond Green is different. Draymond Green is actually.
I'm talking about the pest role you're talking about. Draymond will go out there, talk smack, and kick Steven Adams between the legs, and that'll be great. But
yeah, but the difference between them is like Draymond is like the heart of his team almost.
that's true. But I mean, people think that of Pat Bev.
No. Like he's like.
That's not what you're saying, Josh. He's like the heartbeat of the team and trying to get the guys going.
I'll just say this: what did the Lakers lack last season? They had all the star power, but
a lot of things.
They needed. Most importantly, they needed glue guys.
Yes.
They needed
no
depth.
chemistry with that roster.
Exactly.
None.
They had KCP when they won the championship. Caruso. All these guys.
Yeah.
They just traded them all for Westbrook. You were missing that last year. Their bench was terrible.
They still don't got it. They still don't got it.
But they improved it. That's what I'm saying.
Somewhat because the thing was without trading them, they weren't used to the system compared to the last guy, Caruso and the rest.
They had guys like, I'm going to say these names, you're going to be like, huh? Like Wenyen Gabriel.
That's
off
the
bench
Lakers?
for the Lakers, yeah. Wenyen Gabriel, Damian Jones, I think. Like, who are these people?
That is the equivalent of us calling
Gabriel's
David
a
Duke.
champion. He's a champion.
That is us. That's like
He's a
us,
champion
Josh.
on Toronto.
Y'all trolling.
He did win a championship in Toronto. I'm just saying.
All right, you trolling.
That is the same as us calling David Duke Jr. our boy. That's the exact same thing.
That's my guy, though. That's my guy.
That's our guy. He was a cool guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love that interview.
Great interview with him. Fantastic.
Yeah. Cam Thomas owes me one, though.
He does. All right. Yeah. What are you doing, Corey?
I'm just like anybody else want to say anything.
Oh.
Trying to get everybody
I think
involved.
it's
thought he was doing Brian Windhorst over
let's
there.
Just let that one sit in the air. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Stay in the air.
We'll get into a little bit more basketball, but first, let's remind everybody you are listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Matt, Josh, Corey, Mauricio, Braden, and Eric here with you. We got a full house today. Let's get into a little more basketball, and then I want to end the day with football. But Chet Holmgren will not play this year after injuring his foot in the Pro-Am. I'm going to say this kind of sparked the room, right? He said, he injured his foot while guarding LeBron. I do not call what he did in that game guarding LeBron.
My thing is, I don't even really care about him guarding. It's the fact that what this is going to do is a lot of those kids that came to see those programs and everything, you're not going to be seeing NBA players for a very long time.
Not anymore. he ruined it, and I feel bad that he was the guy to ruin it.
It's almost like when football players play basketball, and then like they post that one video, and then after that they in their contract can't play basketball or any other activities after that.
I agree, Josh.
It's almost the same.
It's like when Tatis was playing soccer in the outfield and almost broke his ankle and then fell on his head.
Yeah, that was a terrible look. I'll say this about Chet. It's unfortunate because I really wanted to see this guy. Like, how is he going to play in the NBA with this small frame, small skinny frame? I was curious to see it. But one thing I hate that's going on right now is that, people were saying pre-draft, Chet can't hold up at that frame in the NBA.
Unfortunately, I can't say it's proven to be true. We haven't seen much of him yet.
It's not proven.
But this is not helping his case.
It's not proven to be true because
it's not helping his case.
It was in a pro-am game. It was non-contact. It's a foot injury.
But non-contact makes it worse.
No. But regardless, I really resent the fact that people are like, "See, I told you about Chet. I told you."
I can't say the jury's out, but it's not helping. It's trending in the wrong direction for sure.
No correlation.
I may be trying to look at the half glass full here, but
what's that?
It feels like people are saying, I feel sorry for OKC. I really don't on this one sense.
They can draft 10 more Chet Holmgrens next year.
It'd be crazy if they get the number 1 pick or like a top 3 pick next year. So is it really that much of a loss?
Okay.
They can make the playoffs to get the top 3 pick easily.
Chet can still win Rookie of the Year next year.
Like Ben Simmons.
Can I say something, right? So listen, if they get the number 1 pick next year, you know what that means.
Victor
Wembanyama.
Wow.
So they're going to get him.
So can you imagine 3 7-foot, 3
Twin Towers?
No. It'd be
There's
triple.
3 of them. They got Giddy.
No. They got
That's
Poku.
4 of them.
No, Pokusevsky. Poku is 7 foot as well and got guard skills.
Giddy's what, 6'10" with guard skills? He's up there.
Giddy is at 6'8", 6'7".
Oh, I thought he was taller than that. Okay, my bad.
6'7", 6'8".
Yeah.
Him and LaMelo like the
Either way, he's a huge guard.
But no, I'm saying, can you look at this? Look at a lineup like this, right? You have Shea at 6'6". Giddy at
these are the two. Giddy at the one. Yeah.
And Giddy at 6'8".
Yeah.
You have Poku at 7 foot. I think 7 foot to 7'1".
Yep.
You have Chet at 7'3", 7'4".
Yep.
And then you have Victor at 7'5" or 7'5".
The 7'3" about 7'4" about.
Yeah. 7'4", 7'5".
I don't think he's quite 7'5".
I like their bench, by the way, too. They got a nice little Trey Mann off the bench. Aaron Wiggins.
No, what's
some bucket
Lou Dort?
Lou Dort, yeah. Great defender.
Yeah.
And they traded what's his name, Jeremy Grant. That doesn't seem to matter.
No.
I mean, he went off to Portland to go be loyal with Dame Lillard.
The only time you seen a lineup that tall, the last time you seen a lineup that tall was with the Milwaukee Bucks when they had like everybody was over like 6'7".
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be something if they can get him at the number 1 pick. It's obviously big speculation now. It's all next year. We don't know, but a lineup of all guys 6'6" and taller would be insane in the NBA. But we got another caller on the line. Caller, you were on WHPC Sports Talk. What's up?
What's going on, Matt? It's Ray again.
Hey, what's up?
I have a question for you, actually.
Sure.
So you look around the league and you see you got a lot of handsome men.
What league are you talking about to be accurate?
The NBA.
Okay,
sorry.
yeah.
You got a lot of handsome men. You got your Kelly Oubre's, your Josh Giddey's, your Devin Booker.
Okay.
I don't like where this is going.
Let him finish, Josh.
Who do you think is the most handsome man?
Most handsome man in the NBA.
Yes.
That's a great question. Thank you again for the call, Ray Charles. We appreciate it. We're getting people from everywhere calling. I love it.
Yeah.
The most handsome man in the NBA, I will quickly...
CP3 all the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an out there
classy.
answer.
It's classy.
How's the dude who's bald and
Oh, wow.
Where we get that from?
I thought it was.
Most
I didn't know it was
handsome
Man Crush
man, yeah.
Monday. I thought it was Thursday.
Nah, I always wish I looked like him, bro? Like
Kelly Oubre is probably going to be my answer.
That's Kelly Oubre.
Because he meant to Kelly Oubre. That's probably going to be my answer.
Look,
Kelly Oubre is a nice
what's funny
man.
about him?
Yeah.
Like the NBA, like cameramen always zoom in on that man's face.
I'm like, if you look like that, what do you want them to zoom in on you too?
Well,
let's be honest, Josh. If you look like Kelly Oubre, you'd want to touch on your face too.
Well, he can't grow a beard like me. First off,
he cannot.
Yo,
he cannot.
Kelly Oubre is if you put Zorro on a basketball court and just go out and play. After every three, son really does a kiss to the fans like this. I'm like, you're not even that nice. You're not even that good.
I feel like that's part of it though, because if Curry did that, there'd be 14 kisses a day. Like, come on, like.
Oh. No, except for last season, Kelly Oubre did have a game where he shot like
13 or something.
Like,
yeah.
he shot
something crazy.
10 or 12 threes in one game. I was like, yeah.
The craziest thing about that game was people are like, he shot the third or fourth, something like that, most threes in a game. Look at the top three. It's like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. Like that list is. If you look up that list, most threes in a game, it's wild. Zach LaVine has like 13 somewhere in there, but it's all Steph Curry and one Klay Thompson.
Oh man, I just want to put this. I know we moving on to football.
Yeah,
soon.
what's up?
I just seen the story that just popped up, and I was like, this. I wonder what the league is going to do. Is Aaron Donald going to be suspended for the whole season?
Oh, the Bengals fight picture?
Yes.
Look up. This just came out 20 minutes ago.
There was a Bengals and Rams fight at practice, right?
Joint practice, yeah.
Aaron Donald takes a Bengals helmet and is attacking a player.
He went Myles Garrett. Is what you're trying to say?
And that's what I'm saying. Will he face the same repercussions that Myles Garrett does? Because if he doesn't, then there's a hypocrisy there.
Garrett didn't spend a whole year, did he? No.
It was half the season
indefinitely.
It was half the season, so
indefinitely is going to be the key word in this whole situation.
But the only reason why it was indefinitely was because it was almost the end of the season, and
he was also accusing Mason Rudolph of some things, and that came out.
It wasn't that he was suspended for the end of the season. I think he was suspended the first 6 games of the next season. Yeah.
I think the big difference, I don't agree with it, the big difference to Roger Goodell is going to be it didn't happen on national television in a game setting. I don't agree with that. I think the NFL is going to take that route and say, it was in practice and this guy leaked and he shouldn't have gotten leaked. Either way, he hit a guy with a helmet.
That would be hypocrisy if they say, this happened on national TV.
And also, Aaron Donald a lot of people call him the best defender of all time, and he's clearly the best in the NFL right now.
But do you know what the difference is?
What's that?
I can say that Myles Garrett outside of that incident, he really doesn't have a history.
No, God! Every game's Aaron Donald grabbing a guy's face.
Yes, Aaron Donald has a good history. I remember he threw somebody's helmet like one time. I'm like, he does have a history.
He does have a history.
And Matt, can I just say, I just saw the video. It's worse than Miles. He gets in like
it is really
4 or
bad.
5
I
good
watched
shots.
it. It's really bad.
After seeing this,
you know what's
I was
funny?
like, Jesus Christ!
It's one thing you take one shot. That's bad enough. This became a weapon at this point.
You know what's? It's. I'm curious about Aaron Donald because, like Corey said, he does have a history. You know, he's a big, strong, bulky guy, but he's always angry.
For sure.
Right? So, like, I don't want to like allege to anything. But he's always like, why are you raging all the time?
Are you insinuating he could be on steroids?
I'm not insinuating anything. I'm just saying he's big, strong, and angry all the time.
Are you calling him on steroids?
He's big, strong, and angry all the time. That's all I'll say.
No.
He's
It's not that. It's actually, if anything, it would be more of like a Napoleon thing because he's actually short.
That's true.
He is, but do you remember that Monday Night Football game against San Francisco a few years ago? When he throws his helmet down. This is what I'm talking about.
Me and Aaron Donald are like a 1 inch apart in height. Like,
wow, really?
Yeah.
It's shorter or taller than you?
He's about like 1 inch taller than me.
Wow.
It's like he's like 6'1".
Wow. And I'll wrap this topic up by saying this, Josh, you're not hitting us with helmets, and you know, you're rather short, man.
I have my Napoleon complex under wraps. You know what
Josh
I mean?
does anybody with helmets, and we commend you for that. Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you for not being violent in the studio.
You got to keep it under wraps. You know, some people can't, but you know.
Yeah, of course. Sure. Not everyone can handle it. But, let's wrap this up by getting to the news around the NFL. As promised, I wrote some news and notes here. Let's see. Shaquem Griffin announces retirement from the NFL. I got to say, this guy was the best story to come out of the league in the last... I can't even remember. This was the best draft story I've heard ever.
And undefeated in rock, paper, scissors.
That was the best video of all time. You see that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he puts, obviously Shaquem Griffin is, unfortunately, he was born without one of his hands.
Yeah. I'm just mad they never used him the right way because he was used as a linebacker.
He was so talented.
No, he was used as a linebacker. When you look at him in college and you look at him in some of the time, he was a better pass rusher.
He was great as an edge rusher when he got into that blitz role.
I remember he sacked Aaron Rodgers like twice.
Him and his brother sacked Aaron Rodgers, and each got half a sack from it. That was a great moment. My quarterback was on the ground. I'm telling you right now, that was amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Shaquem Griffin, we wish him the best. That was an amazing story to come out of the NFL, and I hope there's more stories like that to come. Like, isn't there some NBA draft prospect? I don't know how highly regarded he is, missing an arm. Isn't that a thing?
Yeah.
I think I've seen him.
I mean, sports really can be for anybody, and I really love that.
Every time I watch his videos, I'm like, why don't y'all just force him one way?
Wow!
I knew someone was gonna go there. I knew it. I knew it.
I knew it was gonna be that, or you got to hand to Shaquem Griffin. I knew it was gonna be that.
I was thinking about that, but I held back. I didn't want to be that guy. You know what I mean?
Did you ever see him Madden? They had
I've seen him in Madden. Yes, they took the hand out.
When he caught
one-handed without a hand. I'm aware. Enough. For God. Oh well.
Oh, that's mean.
We'll quickly go around this. Eric, your Cowboys took a big hit today. Tyron Smith went down, likely back in December.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame left tackle, one of the greatest I've seen in my entire life watching football. I do wish him the best, of course, because you never want to see anybody at that level go down.
Right.
He's been around a long time. He's
been great for a long time.
It's at that point of his career where his body's not as capable as it once was, and it's breaking down a little bit.
Absolutely, and let's see. Colin Johnson, the New York Giants standout receiver, tears his Achilles yesterday in practice. Giants can't seem to catch a break. This guy looks really good, and he was announced by Brian Daboll to make the team. And finally, I will say Tom Brady's expected to play in the Bucs preseason finale. I'm sure we'll see him for 1 or 2 series, and that's it.
The soon to be second place in the NFC South, Tampa Bay Bucs.
No, now that you said that, I'm going to tell you, Jameis is probably not going to play in their preseason finale, even though he's begging the coach. Okay, Josh?
You'll play in the regular season.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to take a shot at you, but now I will. Jameis is not going to touch the field in the preseason. That's concerning.
Not really.
Okay.
I ain't worried.
We'll see how it plays out, all right? Corey, what's up next?
Perfumita Italia.
There you go. Rita's got a great show planned up next, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for listening, everybody, for today's show. From Braden Daniello, Mauricio Mendoza, Corey David, Josh Umahi, and Eric Williams, I am Matt Leonard saying thank you for listening on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.